Today I will talk about question number 1, which is describe your case study based on the chapter of the Introduction to Psychology. Express your opinion as an individual who are studying psychology about the problem area of your selected case study. Before we go further, I would like to explain about our theme and its definition. So we have choose the topic memory as our case study theme. Memory refers to the processes that are used to acquire, store, retain, and later retrieve information. There are 3 major processes involved in memory, which is encoding, storage, and retrieval. Encoding is converting information to a usable form. Storage is retaining information in memory, while retrieval is information recovered from memory when needed. We will move to our next discussion, which is our video case study. As you can see here, the video that we have chosen is titled How to Triple Your Memory by Using this Trick by Ricardo Luan through the YouTube channel Tech by Talk. At first, the speaker will ask the audience to do a little memorizing test just to make sure that the audience is aware of how they are memorizing things. After that, he shows a new memorizing technique that was actually kind of effective. Firstly, he asked the audience to close their eyes, sit back and relax. He then proceeds to make the audience imagine a story that he told. Although the story is quite absurd, but that story eventually makes the audience memorize the past 10 presidents of the United States. As someone who has learned about memory in psychology class, this type of memorizing technique can be classified as declarative long-term memory. This is because when the speaker is telling the story, the audience brain was generated to imagine about an event. This method has also indirectly triggered a semantic long-term memory, which is this type of memory restoring someone's general knowledge about something as they have remembered the past 10 presidents of the United States. This type of memorizing technique can be used by all people to work their brain effectively.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurul Atika binti Rizwan C. I would like to present for the question number 2, that is some of the factors that considered played a significant role in learning the behavior. For example, classical, operant, social learning. In learning the behaviors, some of the factors played a significant role that considered in classical conditioning in our case study. When you unintentionally come to link one item with another, that is known as classical conditioning. For example, from the case study, Ricardo using the bizarre image to make the audience memorize, and it suddenly becomes much simpler to remember things in sequence. Firstly, the factors that play a significant role that considered in learning the behavior is we will improve a different ability, such as an aptitude for experimenting. This is because by experimenting with various approaches to solving problems, we will discover that we will improve at anything and what is effective and effective for us. For example, Ricardo said that if he never acquired the ability to experiment, he would possibly never return to school and never like learning psychology. In this case study, we know that it will impact to our study, hobbies, work, relationship, and to all of our life. Second factors that played a significant role that consider in learning the behavior is we will keep ourselves willing to explore new ideas and do so. For example, when Ricardo doing the visualization, the audience realizing that it functions a little bit better, or at least they like it more. From this case study, it gives us fresh insight into the world and also teaches us new things about ourselves. Next, one of the variables that played a big part in how we learn the behavior is being conscious of what we're doing right now. For example, during the first test, Ricardo gave the audience, they become conscious of the fact that they only repeat the phrases, which is effective. From this case study, we realize that it gives us the power to influence outcomes and help us to become better decision makers.
information of psychology that link to the phenomenon in our study case is hippocampus. Hippocampus help us to process and retrieve two types of memory, declarative memories and spatial relationship. The two types of memory, which is short-term memory and long-term memory. In the study case, Ricardo showed us two different activities to test our memory. We can saw that the second activity is more fun and more creativity than the first activity. We can memorize more words in the second activities compared to the first. It will be easier to memorize the word through the image, which will become our short-term memory and be stored in our hippocampus. When we keep repeating the short-term memories, then it will become our long-term memory. In addition, we can use another example to explain the memory. For example, when we need to read a history text and we need to remember it, we will feel very hard to remember because the text contains many words without any image or photo. We will feel very boring and we will be lazy to remember it. But when we add some image that can help us to remember it, we will feel more easier. That is because we can remember the image and words. When we remember it, that will cause us to remember and recall it easier. So that we can see that image memory is more easier to help us to remember it. In short, image can help us to memorize the word and recall it easier.
Alright, next we are moving to the memory strategy. There are several strategies that we can use in our life to strengthen our memory, such as explanation, symbolic play, mnemonic devices, organizing, and also practicing the word that we want to memory. The learner can utilize the explanation to make a significant statement to help them recall how to form a word. We can see in this video that the hosts are using some of part of the human body, such as knees, leg, face, head, and others, to make the audience easier to memorize. Alright, next we are in this video are using the mnemonic, which is mnemonic is the aid in the semantic organization and chunking of data that must be learned. Based on the video, we can translate that story that the host tell to the audience about the past president, America in the Right Flow, which is start with President Johnson and the last one is President Donald Trump.
Today I'm going to present 4 theory that related to our case study. First is information processing theory. There are 3 main components for information theory. First is sensory memory. This is the modern information processing that learned process as the system of the brain function. The audience primary interaction with the information and knowledge that they don't expect or they don't know. For example, all the audience pay attention when the host asks them to recall or memorize 10 words suddenly without they expect. Second is short-term memory. Short-term memory is the component that hold a new information while it's processed. This is the temporary location for a fresh information. For example, audience need to memorize 10 words on the screen just for 30 seconds. Some of them are success, while others do not. The third is long-term memory. This is the component where knowledge is stored and remain there for a long time. For example, the host using a body part to make audience easy to remember the word. Second theory is general memory. First is encoding. Encoding is the act of taking sensory data and converting it into a form or a code that can be stored. According to the video, the host using body part to remember the 10 past president of United States. While the encoding is finished,
the brain will storage the information into memory. After that, information will retrieval and the new information will be stored. They will be using the word when they need.